and I think we should be live. I'll know for sure because I'll be able to see you on my other phone. So any moment, let's just keep refreshing that and wait and see if I appear. Have I appeared? Say hello to me in the chat if I have appeared. I don't yet see myself on my own phone, so I don't know what kind of delay we've got going on. But theoretically, there you go, we've got a hello. So theoretically, some of you can see me, despite me not yet being able to see myself. Let me try and load back in. That's weird. Oh, no, it is loading. It is loading on my other phone. I think it's happening. I think we're live, boys and girls. How are we doing? Yes, there I am, look. There's Kev. Kev on the other phone. How are we all doing? It's Great Yarmouth. Hello, everybody. Look at that. I tell you what, kick things off nicely. What a beach. People told me Great Yarmouth didn't have a lovely, I mean, no one said it didn't have a lovely beach. People said it wasn't lovely, but look at that beach. That is a lovely beach. How's our audio? Are we sounding good?
Sounding good.
Sounds good to me on this one.
Sounds good to me on this one.
I think we're good. Can you hear that seagull? That one seagull who's been there the whole time making lots and lots of noise. But hello everybody. We are live in Great Yarmouth and we're going to do a little bit of a walk. We're probably going to be live for about an hour. That's the plan. And we're going to be walking up there as the sun sets. Apparently, according to Apple weather, the sun should be setting in about 50 minutes, by which point we should, theoretically, if I've planned this right, walked all the way up to Pleasure Beach, turn around and come most of the way back again. I don't know if that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll figure it out as we go, but if you've not seen these streams before, that's basically it. I have a little bit of wander around whatever place we happen to be in. There's going to be videos, as you can imagine, from Great Yarmouth coming up over the next couple of weeks. And we can have a little bit of a chat while I go, a little bit of a Q&A. I can show you a little bit around the place. If you're a local expert, you can tell me about the place, although to be fair, I've been here since Monday and I'm going home tomorrow morning. So unless there's somewhere really, really, really good that's open right now, I've probably missed it on this occasion. But let's pull you up off the top of this bin that you've been standing on. Look, this is where you lot were at the start of the stream. Stood on that bin. Lovely, lovely bin. Right, let's get ourselves moving. As ever, you're going to have to lead me a little bit as to whether you want the camera looking at me or looking out in front of me like that. We'll probably do a little bit of a mix, but if we go a little bit too heavy on one or the other, let me know. But look at this beach. I've spent a lot of time over the last few days on beaches when it's been very, very windy. It's not windy now. The weather has been horrible up until today. The videos that I've recorded, I did a tour of Great Yarmouth on Tuesday. I did a tour of Galston yesterday. Those videos, so windy, so cold, audio a little bit iffy, but it's lovely now. It actually feels like late summer rather than the middle of winter like it has for the last few days. And over here, I was down here this morning and this lot were playing bowls and they are still going now. They have got some commitment to their bowls. I am very impressed. An hour before sunset and they are still going at it hard. That is proper hardcore. Right, let's have a look in the chat, see what you lot are saying. So, what have we got going on? But why isn't Ben there with me? Ben hasn't come out to play at any point. I asked him to come out and play on Monday. I've asked him to come out and play every day since. I don't think he wants to come out to play. It's very sad. He can see where I am right now. If he wants to come out to play, he can come and find me. I'm sure he's watching. He's a big fan. What else have we got going on? You're only in this part or been around the whole island. There's an island? There's an island here. I am definitely doing it wrong. What caravan park am I staying in? You'll find that out after I've left it. So I'm not gonna reveal that now because I don't want people turning up there. I think it's unlikely anyone would, but just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to let you know where I'm sleeping tonight. You'll find out soon enough. We've got a video, like I said, there's a video touring Great Yarmouth, one touring Galston and one about the caravan park we're staying at. coming up soon. So we've got the pier in front of us here, which I have been on. Do you reckon we'll get a signal on the pier? Is it worth going on the pier? Will we get a signal on there? Ah, people thinking I might be in Yarmouth, as in Yarmouth, Isle of Wight, as opposed to Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. No, very much Great Yarmouth, not, I guess, the less Great Yarmouth. Although we've had a couple of incidents is a strong word, a couple of times where it's not been completely accessible to Anna on her mobility scooter. So I did officially downgrade it in a video earlier today to not so Great Yarmouth, because we couldn't even go on the land train, so there was no way to put her scooter on it. So a little bit needs to be done in terms of accessibility, but it is officially called Great Yarmouth. So we're coming up next to the pier. We might still go on the pier. There we have the Arc Cinema, which looks like a very grand old building. From the side it looks like a derelict wreck, but from the front it looks like a very grand old building. And then up here we come round to the little front of where the pier is. This road up here to the right is one of the best roads I've ever walked on when it comes to collectibles and nerdy stuff. There are so many shops down this one street in this one seaside town in the middle of Norfolk that are just full of Funko Pops, Loungefly bags, Pokemon cards, you name it. What are those things Anna likes? The little soft toy fruit things that I can't remember the name of. They have them down there, just all the collectibles down there. It's a great street. If you ever find yourself in Great Yarmouth, you need to go down that street and just go in all of the shops. There are shops down there that have some weird, Jellycat, that's what it's called, yes, Jellycat. Yeah, they have it all down there. It is great. It's also pedestrianised, and at the end of it is a chip shop where I had some chips, and they were nice too. But in front of us we have the Britannia Pier. Look at that list of comedy's finest who've played at the Britannia Pier recently. I'm not an expert on these kind of things, but unless Sarah Millican's done something wrong recently, I'd be a bit miffed to be on that list if I was her. Maybe she's been cancelled too and nobody told me. But this is actually quite a cool pier. They've got a lot going on there. Should we go? We'll try and go on the pier, and if the signal starts to go, just yell and we'll turn around and come off it. Let's try and go on the pier. So down there we've got your typical pier amusements, another chip shop, ice cream shop here where I had some lovely pistachio ice cream earlier today. And then if we come through here, we have, I hope it's still here. Oh, it is. Do you want to win yourself a massive Tyson Fury teddy bear? It's only £1 per play. So, you know, who wouldn't want a 5 foot tall Tyson Fury teddy bear? I love the seaside. Oh, the Camel Derby's closed. The poor guy in the Camel Derby, it just plays the same song on like a 15-second loop all day. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just smashed the place up and gone home. When we were here the other day, there was a police forensic team on here as well. In fact, on that topic, I've never been near so much police activity as I have been the last few days. This isn't meant to be me burying Great Yarmouth, but there was a forensics team on this coffee shop on Tuesday. Tuesday night, there was a different forensics team down the road at a hotel, and today there was a whole section of that big high street that was closed off because there'd been a break-in and it was all taped up with police tape. It's fine. And I'm here advertising that I'm going to be out with loads of tech gear after the sun sets. I'm a genius. I am a genius. Right, I'm trying to spin you back round so I can continue showing you the sights on the pier. So we've got another arcade there. None of the arcades here are massive. There's nothing on the scale of what you get in like Skegness or Blackpool, but there's some pretty good stuff. There's a giraffe in there. Could try and win him. Should we just spend the rest of the stream me trying to win that giraffe? How's the signal as we get further and further down the pier? I mean, to be fair, unlike most piers, this one doesn't actually ever go out over the sea. So I think we're probably going to be okay for signal. It's not like we're going out into the middle of the sea. It kind of goes to the edge of the beach. And that's as far as it gets. But let's continue our exploration of what we've got in here. There's so many of these grabby, what are they called? Grabby things. Big grabby things as well. Look, my job isn't to sell Great Yarmouth to you. My job is to tell you what I've experienced in Great Yarmouth. And I've seen 3 different police forensics teams in 3 days. Previously, I've seen 0 police forensic teams in 41 years. I'm offering no opinion to that statement. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what we've had. At the end here, I really need a solution to be able to spin the screen round without me having to touch the screen. At the end here, we do have a few amusements, but because we're here out of season, it's all fenced off. So unfortunately, we can't go in there. We have got a padlock as well, so that's it for the pier. That's as far as we're allowed to go. And as you can see, we've made it to the end of the pier, and there's still quite a lot of beach left to go. The tide is, I want to say, out at the moment, but yeah, doesn't actually go out over the sea, but that's where we're going. We're going to be walking down there. We're going to see how far we can get in the next 45 minutes, because as soon as the sun goes down, I plan to leg it, because did I mention the police? We're not staying out after dark. So let's head off the pier. I think we can loop round onto the other side while I check the chat. What am I streaming on? What, as in what device? It's just my phone. I've got my phone on a gimbal, and then I've got my other phone that I'm reading the chat off of. The Claw, off of Toy Story. I guess we should call it the Claw. The Claw is a much better thing to call it. Next video title, I got mugged in Great Yarmouth. I really hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to get mugged, thank you. Have I seen Great Yarmouth Town? Oh, Great Yarmouth Town's ground. I've been past it. I've seen kind of the stand from one side as you go up and down the coast, because there was a Pokemon Go Giraffe community hour thing on Tuesday night. So I just spent the hour driving up and down the shoreline, all the way up that way until the road ends, and then all the way that way until you hit the river. I just kept going back and forth, and I spun the Pokestop a few times and saw the back of it. I think the stadium's that way. Can we go around this side? Is there a this side, or is this just the back of everything? But I think the football ground's over here somewhere, if I recall. Oh, we can go this side. There we go. It's the smoking area. Marvellous. No jumping. And then escape rooms over there as well, which is jolly nice. I'm just swapping hands. Oh, it's very hard work. Very hard work carrying this camera. I'm not used to it. Why can't I'm now stuck with the other phone like this. Can I read the chat, please? Let me see the chat. There's literally no point in me have it. There we go. We figured it out. Would be good if the football ground was on the beach. It would be awesome if the football ground was on the beach. Right. What else have we got? The Hippodrome. What is a hippodrome? And do I have reason to go there? And am I near enough to get to it? I don't think I know what a hippodrome is. Might change later in the day, but I think you can walk through it on non-match days. What, the football ground? Interesting. Are we? No, we can go this way. Thought we were going to have to go all the way back. What's been my best thing about Yarmouth? The beaches are lovely. Genuinely, I know I'm being a little grizzly, a little grumpy about some of the other stuff I've seen, but I don't think I've ever been anywhere else in England that has beaches like this. The beaches are fantastic. Lovely sandy beaches. And you can't really complain about that. The football ground has the world's oldest stand, does it? And is that easy to get to from here? Can I get there? Right, we're going down these stairs. I think we're about to, we've done a lot of waffle, almost 20 minutes of waffle. We were supposed to be doing the Golden Mile, which I think starts here. Once you leave Britannia Pier, there's the back of Joyland. I mean, this feels like it should be a thumbnail. Look at that, that is, if ever I've seen anything that deserves the name Joyland. Must emphasise, we are out of season. If I'd have been here 2 weeks ago, it would have been buzzing and everything would have been on and open. I love the fact, I don't know if you can see on this shed, can I zoom in? I absolutely love it. It's great here. This might be my new favourite place. I love Great Yarmouth. I want to move here. I want to live next to Dr. Ben. Right, what have we got in here? Loads of rides that aren't being used at this time of year now. And then, where have I put my other phone? I keep misplacing it. Oh, what have we got going on? So, it's the other way from the pier, from the pleasure beach, but isn't far from where you are whatsoever. I kind of need to do what it says on the tin. I'm definitely coming back in the summer next year, because I think I am being a little harsh on the place by coming out of season. Albeit the summer season, so the summer season finished on Sunday and we arrived on Monday, but apparently it is literally like a switch is flicked and it just goes from being this really nice tourist hotspot to just completely deserted, just like that. It is bonkers. I mean, the reason we came this week rather than last week is because it was so much cheaper, and obviously didn't put any research into it. And the reason it's so much cheaper is because the whole town shuts at like 4 o'clock at this time of year, and yeah, everything is literally everything is shut. If you compare this to when we walked around like Skegness, when we walked around Bournemouth and did those live streams, everything here is closed because we're out of season. So let's try not to point the camera right in people's faces. And so this is the Golden Mile, is it? Why is it called the Golden Mile? Is it the arcades? Is it the hotels? What is it? So we've got lots of restaurants and things there. Is this the Golden Mile? Would I ever do this kind of video but for winter places like London? Definitely. I am going to be running this channel all year round, so I have plans for as we get more into the winter, and I think the plans are going to involve like Christmas markets, Christmas lights, that kind of thing. I don't know what we're going to be doing in February, but certainly once we get into like November, for a good 4 or 6 weeks, we'll be touring around all the best Christmas lights, Christmas markets. We'll go to Winter Wonderland, we'll do all that kind of thing. So I have got plans for later in the year, and then we'll just have to figure out what we're going to do when we get to like February. Like I say, Joyland is more for younger kids than Pleasure Beach. They are both closed. They're only open at weekends at this time of year, as is Pleasurewood Hills. So I've not been able to do a theme park this week, which I would normally do, because they're all closed. But don't worry, over there, that's all new for 2021. Which is, I mean, it's good to know. That is very good to know. Right, come on chat, what else have we got going on? Why is Siri? Oh my word. Siri was just trying to call Tommy Wright, the former manager of Nuneaton. I don't even know where it got that instruction from. That would have been that would have been an interesting addition to the stream. Hi Tommy, butt dial. It's fine, we're all good. I only have his phone number because when I went down to do all the video with Nuneaton a few years ago, he was their manager, so they gave me his phone number. And then the day after I filmed there, the news broke that he'd quit to go and manage, I think he went to Darlington, so I never spoke to the guy. And he like became public enemy number one. But who deletes numbers? Nobody deletes numbers, so we could ring him, we could ring Tommy up. How many Twitch subs to ring Tommy Wright live on stream one of these days? Right, so what is the Empire? The Empire looks like a big old cinema kind of thing, but apparently does live music every Friday and Saturday, so I guess it's not a cinema. It looks like a cool old building. We've got Leisureland, Nicky's Cafe and Diner, and Terry's Fish and Chips. Do you reckon Nicky and Terry get on? They clearly use the same sign writing guy, so I assume one of them referred the other. And then we've got Magic City next door with Merlin's on the first floor. So Merlin's is a bar, so the parents can leave the kids in Magic City and then go hang out in Merlin's, which sounds amazing. So the Empire is a nightclub. I'm assuming it used to be a cinema, surely. And then we've got one of many, many adventure golf places. In fact, is this two? No, I think these are all the same one. So it's Pirates Cove Adventure Golf. What I have noticed is there is a lot of adventure golf in Great Yarmouth. I assume the locals love it. It's all they do. For some reason the camera has decided to go to a strange angle. There we go. There we go. Back on me again. Just for a moment. What do you want to happen, Topher? A live adventure? Oh, adventure golf. I only saw half of that before it disappeared off the screen. We could do live adventure golf at some point. There is indoor crazy golf place up the road as well. There's loads up here. I mean, I can tell just from walking around it even at this time of year that in summer this place is buzzing. There is a lot, even now, there's a lot of bright lights and flashing things. For a town that I've just described as being closed, I mean, there's nothing like this where I live. So it's not that closed. But then we've got Gold Rush, Caesar's Palace. What is that building there with the weird thing on top? Someone explain that to me. Go inside the Golden Nugget. Where's the Golden Nugget? Have we walked past the Golden Nugget? Or is that up here? I don't know where that is. I'm very much a beginner, so I need explanations for where things are if you want me to go to them. What's the Marina Centre? We've got the Marina Centre just here, which you can't really see from this camera angle. Let's spin you around. So, the Marina Centre. What is the Marina Centre? There you go. Now you know, and I don't, because I couldn't see that. But I assume you saw what was going on in there. Hopefully it wasn't like a yoga studio, or else I'm getting arrested as a pervert. Caesar's Palace over there. What else have we got? We've got a big wheel. So don't worry, I have checked. There is a big wheel, and just beyond the big wheel there is an upside down house. So we have got confirmation that this place is the seaside. Everybody knows you don't judge the seaside by whether or not you can see the sea. It's by whether or not there's a big wheel and an upside down house, and they are both over here. So we should get to them before we lose light. And then once the sun's gone down, I've got to leg it. My car's parked all the way back there, so I've got to leg it back down here in the dark, which I guess the lights probably look pretty. I wonder what time they shut all this stuff down. What do you reckon? Is this stuff staying open late? I don't do a lot of wandering around places after dark. I should have parked in this car park. This is about halfway along. Oh, there's the Golden Nugget. Someone said the Golden Nugget a minute ago. It's over there. I see it. So that's the Silver Slipper, which doesn't have its lights on yet. That guy who was jogging was very interested in what I was up to. He's never seen a mobile phone on a stick before. Behind the Flamingo Arcade is the Hippodrome Circus. You can see it coming up. What, there's a circus in there? That's cool. I like the circus. Is the circus open? I'm probably not going to go to the circus without Anna. Okay, if that was a swimming pool. I mean, there's not a lot I can do about it now, Topher, is there? I haven't been arrested. The police seem busy locally. I think we're good. Right. Not yet. I mean, all anyone has to do is watch back the footage and they'll see it was completely innocent. Completely innocent, didn't know what was in there. We're good. We'll chop that bit out of the VOD. It'll be fine. Right, let's have a look at the Golden Nugget. So the Golden Nugget doesn't look that big. I'm not going in any arcades. Why are they all named after Vegas casinos, by the way? Well, they're not all, but some of them are. We had Caesar's Palace back there. Now we've got the Golden Nugget. Now we've got Circus. Is Las Vegas just a rip-off of Great Yarmouth, is the question I am thinking about. Oh, Chris, don't get me started on Anna and the forensics. When she, where are we? When we saw the forensics team on the pier yesterday, she just went off on one about how they were doing everything wrong. Within earshot as well. Oh, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not wearing masks, they're not doing... It was amazing. I think they should have offered her a job there and then. So there's the Hippodrome. There you go. So behind the Golden Nugget we have the Hippodrome. So you're telling me behind Circus there is an actual circus? Because that is cool, if that's the case. We've got more adventure golf here. A very original coffee shop logo. I don't know how they came up with that one. And then this one has got a shark dangling off a rope. So, is this 2 or 3 adventure golfs that we've come across along here? And then we have the Flamingo. And we get closer and closer to the big wheel, which I've been here since Monday and I've not seen the big wheel move yet, so I don't think it does a lot of bigging or wheeling at this time of year. Yeah, this is that we saw this sign on the way in. They had this on a massive poster on the way in on Monday. The bikes are back! And September the 17th. We arrived on September the 18th. It was nice to be greeted with a sign telling us everything had finished as we arrived. Right, here's a question for you, boys and girls. What is the barking smack when it's at home? I'm assuming it looks like a pub, but what on earth does it mean? What is a barking smack? There were people on the big wheel yesterday. We didn't come into Yarmouth yesterday, we were in Galston yesterday, so I mean, we could see the wheel from Galston because everything's very close together in Norfolk. There's a Harry Ramsden's here, which obviously I'm not going to go to after how much I spent there in Bournemouth. Do you reckon it's as expensive here as it is in... I can see from here it's not as expensive as it is in Bournemouth. If you've watched my Bournemouth video, you'll know how much we spent on Harry Ramsden's there. But there's a sign there saying fish and chips $7.99. Which seems much more reasonable. The only thing is, it was tiny portions and not very good. I assume it's the same everywhere. So here we have the big wheel. And one of my favourite things about seaside towns is when you just get these absolutely random rides that aren't part of any fair, just roadside ride. So here's the road. There is one of them that just slings people up into the air with a fence around it. No other rides nearby. Just, yeah, we've got a bit of grass. let's stick a slingshot on it and then a massive big wheel. One thing I do like about Yarmouth, two things I like about Great Yarmouth. All the roadside parking is really nice. I imagine it's full in the summer, but at this time of year it's really handy for playing Pokemon. And this whole separate lane, which I guess is just for buses, buses, taxis, the land train. So it just means the buses are always able to get through, which again is a big advantage. Good work to the people of Great Yarmouth. Right, we are going to continue pondering down this way. I think we're about halfway along this mile now, I reckon. Did I ride on the land train and make Anna wait? No. She did say she could race it on her scooter, but we decided we weren't going to ride it. If we couldn't ride it together, I can't. I'm a man in his 40s. I'm not going to ride a land train on my own. I'd look mental. Riding it with Anna, I can just pretend she wanted to do it, and it's fine. So the wheel is run by the Pleasure Beach, is it? I mean, it is a big one. There's a sea life centre behind it as well. Do love a sea life centre. A big old looking hotel with a big coach outside it. Planet Poppadom, which is awesome. I guess the next step, once we've been to all these holiday parks we've been going to lately, is going to stay in places like that, isn't it? Because what do you reckon that's like? I feel like that's probably an absolute bleep hole. It might be lovely, but yeah, that might be something we get up to next year. And when I say we, Anna's already said she's not going to stay in horrible hotels. So she said if I want to do stuff like that, because I have suggested it, if I want to stay in awful hotels just for the content, she expects me to book 2. So we can fake the whole thing and she'll go and stay in the nice one. I can go and do the video in the horrible one, pretend to sleep there, then go back to the nice one where she is and fake the whole thing. So she's a monster. She is a monster. But yeah, trust me, if I'm going to stay somewhere like that, I'm going to stay somewhere like that. I'm too tight to pay for 2 rooms. But it's certainly getting quieter the further down here we get. We've got the Sea Life Centre, which I haven't had time to get into. I love a Sea Life Centre. I just haven't had time to give it a visit. But I absolutely would if we were to come again. And as much as some of this has been a little bit critical, I would come again. I've enjoyed it. I love the seaside. I certainly will happily argue with anyone who was trying to tell me before I came that this place was awful, because I quite like it. I'd like to live somewhere like this. I might move next to Ben. He'd love that. Right, here we have, firstly, Whippy World and the slush hut, which, I mean, there's no vodka slush, which is a little bit of a shame. And this is the Winter Gardens here, which I don't think you can get into anymore, but I have vague memories of them from when I was a kid, because I think the last time I came here, I think I came here about 15 years ago, but before that it would have been when I was a kid. And I have vague memories of that existing. I don't think we went in it, but I recognise the building, which does look a little bit dilapidated now, unfortunately. And then around here we have the second pier, which also doesn't go out over the sea at all. I could count on one finger the number of times in my life I've been to a seaside place, come to the pier, and it's had nobody near it. But here we have a pier with absolutely nobody around. It is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But looks all right. Wellington Pier. Visit the new Wellington Bowl at the end of the pier, which, like the other one, doesn't go beyond the sand. Looks like a decent enough arcade though. I could while away an evening in there quite happily. Literally nobody else is, but I'd have a nice time. And then down here, I think we have the little model village. Is that what they call it? Which Anna wouldn't go in when I suggested we go in the model village, she looked at me like I was a crazy person. But I love model villages. I like pretending I'm a giant. When we go to Legoland, that's my favourite thing. Wandering around all the tiny buildings as a giant. Yeah, here it is at the model village. Which, again, reasons to come back. We might have to come back with Andy because he'll want to do this. And if Andy wants to do it, Anna will agree to do it. She won't do it just for me, but she'll agree to do it if he wants to do it. You can just see bits of it from here, look. It looks, I mean, for a model village, it looks massive. Looks like there's a lot going on in there, which is cool. And I particularly enjoy the pricing and how they've managed to keep entry below a tenner. They've tricked me there. Psychologically, I'm like, wow, that's less than a tenner. I'm in. Genius. Good work. And then we are very nearly at the pleasure beach. There's a thing to do for videos, visit model villages. I don't know if I'm ready to become that niche. That's the sort of thing I'm going to do when I'm a crazy rich old YouTuber. Anyway, dare I lift the camera over a fence again? There's not going to be like nudes the other side of this fence, is there? Is this safe to do? Is this going to be... I'm spitting everywhere. There you go, look. So you can see a bit more of the model village. Don't think there's any nudity in there. However, if I was running a model village, I absolutely would put something absolutely despicable the other side of the fence just to stop people doing that. They'd learn fast. More golf in there, was it? Amazing. This is sad, seeing stuff like this. The Helter Skelter, which is very much not there, which is a little bit unfortunate. And here is the pleasure beach. I'm not going to walk all the way down the pleasure beach because it goes way, way down this road. We went down there yesterday. It's a long old walk for not a lot of stuff to actually see, but there is the main event. I mean, it's so important. We'll come back to the main event in a moment, but it's so important that they've even got it advertised outside. Look, forget everything else that's going on in there. The upside down house is a big deal. That's how you know you're at the seaside. But you can see that the pleasure beach goes all the way down to the docks, all the way down there. You've got loads of parking over here as well. It's not open weekdays at this time of year because, you know, it's meant for kids. So why would they open it on weekdays when the kids are at school? I would have liked to have a little wander around it, but I actually, like I say, did a bit of a lap of it yesterday and saw enough to be able to get a feel of it without needing to go in. What I haven't been able to establish is if it's a park where you pay for admission or pay per ride. I don't see any signs about tokens, but at the same time it looks like some stuff has an admission price of its own as well. So I think it's a little bit of a mixture of everything because it says on there that the upside down house is £5.50 a pop. So is that not part of Pleasure Beach? Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe everything you have to pay for in there, but there is the upside down house. So that's how you know you're at the seaside. We've seen the big wheel. We've now seen the upside down house. We are 3 for 3 on this channel now for seaside towns that have a big wheel and an upside down house. I don't know why they are the thing that you have to have, but that is the new rule. It was like that in Skegness, it was like that in Bournemouth, it's like that here in Great Yarmouth. The next seaside place we're going to is Blackpool. We're going to be in Blackpool in a couple of weeks because I want to see the illuminations. So when we go to Blackpool, if I see a big wheel and an upside down house again, that's 4 in a row. It is absolutely a rule at that point, and I will then refuse to go to any seaside towns that don't have both of those things. Captain America and Batman are over here on the same ride. Seaside rules. Intellectual property does not exist this close to the sea. There's Batman and Captain America on the Grand Prix ride over there. I love it. There's no rules. But yeah, like I say, the Pleasure Beach goes on all the way up there. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, but I am conscious that I've walked for 40 minutes and it's getting dark, so I don't necessarily want to be up this end of town this far from my car, so we're going to start looping back around. There's a little Great Yarmouth sign there that looks quite pretty. Winter in a seaside town feels like the town has gone into lockdown. It does a bit, doesn't it? It was, I did a video years ago, one of the very first videos I did, back when we were in the very early days of original Best Thing From, before I actually did YouTube. We experimented with video a little bit for the Best Thing From podcast, and we went to Skegness as part of looking for the Best Thing From Lincolnshire, and I think it was like February, and we drove around outside Fantasy Island in February, and it felt like we were driving around a Fallout game because there was literally no one around. The weather was horrific. I think it had snowed the day before, so it was like driving around the wastelands in Fallout. It was bonkers. Yeah, seaside towns out of season, absolutely mad. But I kind of love it a little bit. I think it's cool because ultimately, even when there's nobody else around, even when no one else is doing this stuff, there's still more going on here than there is where I live. You know, near my house, we've got a Costa Coffee that shuts at like 4 o'clock and a Sainsbury's, and that's it. There's nothing to do within walking distance of where I live. Whereas here, even if everything was shut, it's still fun to go for a walk on the beach, even if it's cold. Dave has been on the beach every morning and every evening that we've been here, and he's loving it. He would love to live near the beach. That's all you need. The seaside's great. I live far too far inland, but we are now walking down the side of the pleasure beach, getting back towards the seafront. Just because, again, I've got to emphasise just how lovely the beach is here. When I was doing a little bit of research, because I do research these days, boys and girls. There you go, there's the other pier. Just to show again, it doesn't actually go out over the sea. It goes to there. But when I was doing my research, I discovered that Galston Beach, which is just over there, so the other side of the docks, the other side of where the River Yar comes in, and you've got all the docks for Great Yarmouth, the other side of that is Galston, the next town along. And Galston Beach is apparently in the top 25 beaches in the world. It finished number 12 on the list of top 25 beaches in the world. It was one of only 3 beaches in the UK to make it into the top 25 in Europe. It is a lovely beach, and it is kind of a big deal. There's literally nothing there apart from the beach, and a load of houses for millionaires. I've got a video from when we went to Galston. It's very different from the Skegness or the Bournemouth videos or what the Great Yarmouth video will be, because there's not really much in the way of amusements or fairs or any of that kind of stuff. It is very much, you go there for the beach. The beach is the best one you'll ever go to. I mean, we're going to struggle to find, we're in the early days of travelling around these seaside towns, but we are going to struggle to find a better beach in the UK than Galston. But if you want a cup of coffee after you're done on the beach, you need to drive to the next town. There's not much going on there. It is a strange thing, and I've never seen so many houses that look like they belong in Grand Designs in the same place. Should go down to Sandbanks next to Bournemouth. Oh, absolutely. It's on the list. There's so much on the list. That's why I'm enjoying this new channel so much, because there's so much exciting stuff for us to do. So much is on the list, so much to do. We've got infinite amount of things just to do within the UK. And then, of course, there's the rest of the world to do as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but as the channel grows, we can do more international travel. It's not as if I've not travelled this year. We've done Tenerife, Turin, Barcelona, Paris, going back to Paris next week. Have I missed any out? So we've got some travel in this year. It's going to be even more next year. This channel is going to be my new favourite thing to do. Right, what else have we got? Sunset is in less than 15 minutes. I know. I mean, I have advertised the stream as taking place at sunset, and I am now walking back in the right direction on a bit of promenade that has no lighting. So I want to be off this when the sun goes down. What else have we got going on in the chat? Cornwall's got the best beaches. Cornwall and Devon, very much places that I'm planning to go to. They're just really far. They're really far and really expensive compared to anywhere else in the UK. So whereas for this one, we can book it last minute and it's only a few hours away, so we can book last minute and come for a few days. If we're going to drive all the way down to Cornwall, we're going to need to put some planning into it and we need to make it worth our while. I remember going down to Newquay as a kid, and we were towing a caravan, so it took a little bit longer because of that, but we went down to Newquay as a kid and it was like a 7-hour drive. If I'm driving for 7 hours, I'm going to go to Paris or Bruges and most of the way back. You know, I can get to the Netherlands in 7 hours. I reckon I probably could. So if I'm going to drive to 7 hours, I'm going to drive there. But we'll get round to it. We'll definitely get round to it at some point, because ultimately I can't declare anything the best beach or the best seaside town without going to Cornwall, can I? Because they're probably going to be there. Right, let's switch you to the other arm again. What is that? Oh, it's the back end. Oh, the back end of things is great. I would like to get back to somewhere that has some street lights though. I'm very conscious that light is starting to fail us. I mean, to be fair, we are not really far from all of the stuff. I mean, you can see the other pier is there. My car is just the other side of that pier. I think I could walk that in 15 minutes if I had to. And even if I couldn't, I could just go back to the street where it was a little bit busier. I don't need to be walking along by the sea. What have we got here? We got any vodka slush? We've got Calippo slush, ice cold beers and wines. No vodka slush here, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm always amused by vodka slush. So this is the back end of the Sea Life Centre. I'm an annoyingly fast walker. Am I annoyingly? I've just got long legs. I'm 6'2". Plus, I'm able to start walking a bit quicker again now because Anna's got a scooter. For most of the last 10 years, I've had to walk at Anna's pace. But now I can walk at my natural pace again, which is fun. Right, so we've now got the back end of the big wheel. Do they light that up? It doesn't look like that's going to get lit up. They've got a few little lights going on here, but not quite as illuminated as I hoped. I do like a light. I think I'm going to head back to the road rather than by the beach, because as nice as the beach is, as it gets darker, I'm looking over there and seeing all the flashing lights of the arcades, and I kind of want to be near them because they look cool. So we're going to go through the back here of the Sea Life Centre. Nice little skip. Have I ever been to Weymouth? I don't think I have. What's in Weymouth? Why should I go to Weymouth? Yarmouth is too highbrow for vodka slush. Is it? Is it though? Is it more highbrow than Skegness? I feel like I've got very similar vibes here to Skegness. They're very similar places. I like them both, but they feel very similar. It is a nice looking beach. Completely agree. It's a lovely beach. What else have we got down here? Weymouth is lovely, nice beach. Might have to go and check. Weymouth's down in Dorset, Hampshire, down that way, yeah? Is that right? Is that where Weymouth is? I think it is. By the way, boys and girls, I've just noticed not had many thumbs ups on this stream yet. Makes me a little bit sad. I'm risking my life now, walking down here in the almost dark. That's got to be worth a thumbs up, surely. Go to Whitby, still the greatest place I visited. Whitby is much higher up this coast, I want to say. Is that east coast? I don't go north very often, but I feel like Whitby's north. I rarely venture to the north. Weymouth's a seaside town in Dorset, southern England, yeah. Can I put my invoice now in case I die? You can't, Chris, no. The Marine is the best pub in Yarmouth. Is that big one up here that was a swimming pool? Was it? I mean, I don't do pubs, so I don't know. I have no comment on pubs. But some of these lights look pretty cool actually. Now it's getting a little bit darker. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but that little shot there, that feels like holiday to me. That's cool. I like places like that. That is just, I should really go to Las Vegas, shouldn't I? So you don't even try the vodka slush. No, I don't drink. I don't do pubs, I don't drink. I like the idea of vodka slush because I think it sets the tone, but I don't drink. I just know if a place does vodka slush, it's probably my kind of place. Nice low bar. That's what I'm looking for. I'm proper trashy, me. The T-shirt shack. Interesting. I bet they don't do 3XLs. Has that just sprung up since I don't remember seeing that before. Vegas would be overload. Would it? When I'm looking at those lights thinking, that's cool, I wish that was everywhere. You're telling me I wouldn't enjoy Vegas? Oh, we can see the Hippodrome properly from this angle. So yeah, the Hippodrome Circus has world-class shows apparently. Nice. And we're back at the Barking Smack free house. The Flamingo during the day looked like nothing. Now it's a little bit darker, we've got all the lights on. I mean, unfortunately, the refresh rate on the camera does ruin it a little bit. In person, it's not flickering the way it looks like it's flickering on the video. It's just kind of flowing nicely, but I don't know how to change the refresh rate of the camera, unfortunately. But that looks pretty cool. I like this little row of amusements here. I have to ask, who is it for though? I get that, I suppose by being open, you're giving yourself the chance to make any money. But the amount of electricity and staffing costs, keeping a place like that open on a Thursday night in late September, when there's nobody at all in it, they must be getting some kind of subsidy from the council just to keep open, surely. Because there's no one in there. What time are they staying open until? Go inside the Flamingo. No, because the music will be too loud. I can hear loud music from here. So we'll get copyright, unfortunately. There we go. So there's also nobody in Circus from what I can tell. I mean, we could probably cross the road and get a little bit closer to these and have a proper look, because I am interested. I'm interested in the business model. Who is using these places and how are they being funded? Because the only person I can see in Circus is a security guard in high vis. I don't know what he's expecting to happen, but I feel like I'd be told to stop filming if I went anywhere near him. But they're open all year round. But how are they making any money? I love that noise, just the constant arcade noise. There's some people. We found 2 people. What is that ride? Is that, oh, it's a VR thing, I think. That's cool. I've not seen that one before. Feels a little bit iffy having flamingos here next to the Flamingo. Feels like oh, alpacas! Hey! Oh, now I need £1. I don't have any cash on me. Which reminds me, I don't think I've paid for parking, so I'm hoping it's free parking in the evening. Because it has just occurred to me that I have not paid for parking. So that might end up being a problem. This might be the most expensive video I've ever made. How much is a parking fine? It'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. He says as he starts to walk a little bit faster. What is this? Quality fish and chips, apparently. Which is my favourite kind of fish and chips. Not paying, but I'll just pay for parking when I get there. What are the chances of a traffic warden coming out now? If I just go and pay for it when I get back, I'm sure it'll be fine. I doubt they're using AMPR in Great Yarmouth, surely. Surely. Yeah, it's the parking. That's how they're funding the whole town, isn't it? The parking fines. We've figured out the business model. Oh yeah, we are sacking Topher. If I get a parking fine, Topher's fired for not reminding me to pay for parking. I feel like that is part of his job. Right, can we safely cross the road? It's getting dangerous out here, boys and girls. Got to cross the road. How long am I in Great Yarmouth for? We're going home tomorrow morning. So we've been here since Monday. We head home tomorrow morning. We've had a good week. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll be home tomorrow because Monday we head to Disneyland Paris. So there'll be another live stream next week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this gear into Disneyland because they have their no selfie sticks rule. So we'll have to work out if they consider my little handheld gimbal a selfie stick. And I'm not going to walk around just holding my phone out in front of me because the quality will be horrific. So if they don't let me in with the gimbal, it'll be a stream from the Disney Village. We'll just wander around the Disney Village because there's no rule about selfie sticks there. But otherwise, we'll do probably this time next week, probably Thursday evening next week, we'll do a stream from Disneyland Paris. And that'll be fun. Do they have a no drone rule? They do have a no drone rule, yes. They have a no drone, no selfie stick. We're crossing the road again now, I think. In fact, there's nobody on that side of the road. Need to sort that button out. I need app suggestions for my phone that allows me to control the gimbal, because the gimbal has a flip camera view thing, but the gimbal app, the DJI app, doesn't work with YouTube. So you can't stream using it, you can only use it for video. So I've got all these buttons on the gimbal and none of them actually do anything. I'm literally just using it to steady the camera, which it does a very good job of. The gimbal combined with the iPhone technology does a good job of keeping this relatively steady, but not quite the job I want it to do. I was not expecting that kind of view for the donut, that kind of queue for the donut place. This is the most people I've seen throughout the whole stream, and it's for donuts and fish and chips. Madness. Thinking of buying a gimbal. I think this gimbal was about 150 quid. It's a mobile phone one, so it's not a camera one. I've got the DJI one for cameras, which was probably double that, which I've never actually used. But the one for phones is about 150. And it's very good. It's a good bit of kit. I just wish it worked with the YouTube app. Right, what's this one called? Leisureland. They have super ticket machines and contactless payments are accepted in there. Oops, let's tilt you down a little bit so you can see him. You need to be able to see what's going on. Casino jackpots and all sorts. And there are lots of flashing lights going on the pier now as well. Goodness me, there's lots of shenanigans. Right, we can have a proper look at the Empire now. So this is a nightclub, is it? Live music, street food and craft beer. I mean, it sounds like my kind of place. Live music today from 4 p.m. There you go. That clearly ended before 7 p.m, which I think that says a lot about how closed down this place is. Why can't I flip the camera now? Flip, you idiot, flip. There we go. We got there in the end. All right, back to the chat. What's going on in the chat? Suggest you cross, we can hear music. We can cross the road. Try not to get run over. All right, that'd probably be good for views. If I do get hit by a car, Topher, can we cut that out as a short and get that uploaded somewhere? Even if it has to go on a Lollujo too, I think it would do views. This place reminds me of Rimini in Italy. You should go there next summer, you'll probably like it. It would be a nice video. Interesting. I'm up for going back to Italy. The only time I've ever been to Italy, it was that flying visit when we went to Turin. And we got there at like 11:30 at night. Had a a full day wandering around Turin making a best thing from video, watched Juventus that evening and flew out again the next day. So we were in Italy less than 48 hours and it was pretty action packed. Can we never talk about Turin again? What's wrong with Turin, Topher? Hey, I tell you what I've started doing, which you should be seeing on Sunday. I'm about halfway through editing together the lost Cambridge footage for the best thing from that wasn't, before we knocked the old channel on the head and killed best thing from in the process. Me and Sheepdog recorded a whole day in Cambridge. I have spent the last couple of evenings sat in a caravan in Great Yarmouth, Frankensteining that together into a video, and I think it's nearly there and will actually be quite a good video. So assuming I can get that done, my plan is for that video to be out on Sunday, and then we'll probably start with the Great Yarmouth stuff next week. So we'll probably do a Great Yarmouth video Tuesday, we'll have the Disney live stream Thursday, and then there'll be a couple more Yarmouth videos before we've then got Goose Fair coming up. Goose Fair is starting in Nottingham, so we'll be going to Goose Fair. So that'll be a video. We'll then obviously have a lot of content from Disney, probably 5 or 6 videos from our week in Disney. And then within less than a week of getting back from Disney, we're off to Blackpool. So we'll have a bunch of content from there as well. The stuff we're recording this week, next week and the week after should keep the channel ticking over until we hit November and start doing Christmas lights and Christmas markets and all that kind of thing. That's the plan. So busy time. I just hope they don't release the Football Manager beta too soon, but we are pretty much back where I began. If we just flip you around, you can see we have made it, we have made it back to Britannia Pier. There are lots of lights around the place now, which is jolly nice. All looks quite pleasant by night. Apparently in the summer on Wednesday nights they do fireworks after dark here, which would have been cool. Need to be here for a Wednesday next year during the summer so I can go to Pleasurewood Hills, because that also looks cool. But I think we're going to wrap things up here because my car is just over here. I want to get back to it, make sure parking was paid for. Oh, it obviously didn't go through properly on the app, officer. No, that was somebody else filming the swimming pool. What do you mean the forensic team are on their way? But we will wrap the stream up there. If you want to see a more put together, edited version of this stream, I did a similar tour around Great Yarmouth a couple of days ago that will be coming out on the channel as a video in the very near future. Like I say, we've got a Disney live stream coming up next week as well, if you're a big fan of the live stuff. And then a week after, we'll be in Blackpool for a live stream. So although it's been probably about a month since the last live stream, we're going to throw a bunch at you over the next few weeks because we're out and about and travelling again. I think the internet's held up quite well for this one. That is the one thing that could cause a problem potentially for the Disney one next week, French internet. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, I'm pretty much back at the bin where I started. So I will say goodbye to you all. They're playing Under Pressure on the pier. I'll say goodbye. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, but if you've watched an hour's live stream to a channel you're not subscribed to, we need to have a chat. I need to know the thought process. And I'll see you back here on Sunday for the Cambridge Frankenstein video. Thanks for watching, folks. Toodle pip. I've got to figure out how to end the stream and then go and pay for my parking. Bye!